Welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope all you Reds are doing a little bit better than we were yesterday. This is the Shankly Sessions. I was quite down myself yesterday, as you can imagine by the match reaction if you viewed it. Um, Very, very proud of our team, of course, but we just fell short to an amazing Man City team with such amazing mentality as well, similar to ourselves. But unfortunately, we fell a little bit short. But what we're going to do is it's Monday, it's a new week. The league is done. There's no point in dwelling on that and getting down about it. We're going to do a short little show here and have a chat about Fabio Carvalho, our new signing that was announced today. We knew it was happening anyway, but I thought I'd jump on and we'd have a quick chat about him, look at his stats and see how he fits in and what is it about this guy? What's his key attributes that Klopp has seen that fits him into that Liverpool model? We know how between himself and Michael Edwards and Pep and Linders and all the boys, Julian Ward and all, how they analyze these players from an early age and stuff like that to make sure that they are absolutely given every chance of success at Liverpool Football Club. So I thought I'd jump on and do that. Of course, we have the road to Paris. It starts today. Can't wait for Saturday. I'm going to be over in Liverpool. I'm attending the fan park thing in Aintree with a few of the lads off the WhatsApp group. So we're going to have a great weekend over there. Hopefully we get the right result. I think it's imperative now that we win the Champions League to finish on a high this season. Although winning two domestic cups is great, um, I'll be at the parade as well on Sunday. But the thoughts of attending the parade for two domestic cups, I have to say, doesn't sit great with me, being honest. But I mean, the team has done fantastic, as we said. They've managed to be able to play in every single match that was available to them this season. Of course, there's a few concerns and stuff about injuries and stuff like that, but we are going to be doing a preview tomorrow night on the Shankly Sessions on the road to Paris. You'll have two new faces coming on, two Liverpool OGs, in terms of fans and stuff like that, who are going to give you some fantastic stories about their own fandom and stuff like that. And then we're going to do a quick rundown of the season and what we thought so far and how everything transpired yesterday. And then we're going to follow it up with a preview of the Champions League on Saturday coming at you from Paris, which is going to be absolutely electric. But apart from all that, let's get in and have this chat about this young lad, Fabio Carvalho. Absolute sensation in the Championship this season. Unbelievable in that Fulham side. Um, his stats are unbelievable. 36 games this season, 10 goals and 8 assists for a young lad. Unbelievable. As we know, Liverpool tried to complete this signing back in January, and we just missed the deadline in trying to sign him. Now, that wouldn't have necessarily made a difference if we had a sign him because the deal was to sign him and loan him back to Fulham for the rest of the season anyway. He will officially become a Reds player on July the 1st. As you know, the window, I think, opens on the 10th of June, but these players' contracts tend to run till the 30th of June. So the 1st of July, he will officially sign the agreement with Liverpool, but there's a pre-agreement in place. The fee, of course, let's talk about the deal. The deal is 5 million, which I think is an absolute snip for this boy. You've heard Darren on the podcast a number of times, who's a Man United fan, talking up this boy and how electric he's been in the Championship. Both himself and Mark talk very highly about this guy. And I'm sure they will mention him on the Monday mashup when we announce that the deal has been done. But the deal was 5 million. And then there's 2.7 in add-ons and a 20% sell-on clause, which I think is pretty standard in terms of deals for young players like this. But I think it's a fantastic deal. I think it's an absolute snip. And if he, if Julian Ward and Mike Edwards and Klopp and Pep Linders and all those boys, if they've done that due diligence on this guy, 5 million is going to be nothing for this guy. He looks like he's going to be absolutely electric. And coming in at that young age, in theory, if everything works out, we should have nearly a decade of this kid. So it's a great investment when you think about it. The structure of the deal is very similar to what happened with Harvey Elliott. As we know, Harvey was his teammate for a while as well. And it left a little bit of a distaste the way Harvey's situation happened. But relations between the club have been mended recently, obviously with the arrival of the impact that Harry Wilson has had there, and we sold him for 12 million last year to Fulham. So that kind of mended those bridges, if you like. So they were happy to do business with us, and I think it's really, really important doing that. Great work again by Michael Edwards, Julian Ward, and of course the Fenway Sports Group president Mike Gordon. They all work together to move really, really quickly to get this deal done before it ended up in an auction. Because this player, Fabio Carvalho, he would have been a player that would have been on a lot of teams' radars. They would have been watching him. This guy was sensational in the championship last season. Um, the stats don't do justice to the ability that this kid has, and the world is his absolute oyster in terms of his talent. And under the coaching of Klopp and his team and stuff like that, this player should become a sensation, no doubt about it. Wanted to have a look and see, well, what is it that Klopp has seen? What is it that Liverpool have identified in this boy to push the button on it so early and bring him in? As we know, look, it's really, really difficult to break into that front line. And when I talk about that front line, this guy's an attacking midfielder because our front line is really midfielders, as you know. So this guy's an attacking midfielder. Plays on the right, so providing that backup for Mo Salah. I know people will turn around and go, well, Taki Minamino was there for that purpose as well. But as we know, although Taki has had a good run in the cups and stuff like that and has scored some important goals in those domestic cup runs and stuff like that, he's failed to really nail down that position as a backup to Mo Salah. And as we've seen, when Mo is out of the team, it's not necessarily Taki who comes in. It's more a shifting of the front men across the line and moving them around and stuff like that, where Klopp has kind of experimented with different little sort of formations of the three in there. So this guy will come in, and based on his talent, he could look to be a genuine backup for Mo Salah. And again, of course, we don't know what's going to happen with Mo Salah. His contract is up in the air. But we know that this 19-year-old, he plays out wide. But he has also adopted a number 10 role for Fulham as well. So versatility. This is something that Klopp always looks out for, versatility within a player. Can we use him in different positions? Can we move him around? Can he fit into different positions when needed and stuff like that? And we always look for that versatility. You see it in Mane, you see it in Diaz, you've seen it in Bobby, we've seen it in Diogo Jota. So there's always that versatility, especially with our attacking midfielders and our front line. We always look for a bit of versatility in there in terms of that. So he could also shadow Bobby in a false nine position as well. So, you know, there's the options are huge there, you know. Obviously, it'll be tough to break in. But, you know, once he gets his opportunity, no doubt Liverpool will give him the best opportunity to flourish and develop his career there. As we've seen with the management of Harvey Elliott, I think Fabio will get the same type of management. And we'll probably get lots of opportunity. I mean, when you think about it, we'll be fighting for silverware. I mean, who's to say next season we're not going to be chasing down another quad? And it looks like we just fell short slightly in terms of fighting on all four fronts. In terms of the actual squad and stuff like that, I think if we had brought Luis Diaz in the summer as opposed to January, I think that might have strengthened us a little bit more. Konate was absolutely brilliant. But I think if you want to fight on all four fronts for a quad, I think you need to do a little bit more business than that. The thing about it is it might change Liverpool as well. I mean, we haven't had a natural number 10 since Philip Coutinho left for Barcelona, but there is a case for maybe reverting back to that at times, and especially at times when it's been very frustrating for us when we haven't had a plan B in games, or we've set up against a team a certain way where maybe setting up at that 10 might be a better way to set up and might reap better rewards. So I thought we'd put that out there as well. That's really important as a number 10 and stuff like that. It would give us more options in terms of formations in case they suit different styles of different teams. We've seen at times this season how hard it's been for us to break down that low block. Maybe a different formation might allow itself to that, you know. I mean, obviously the more likely option would be to push him out to the right. That's his favourite position. And it's one area where we do lack cover. And I mentioned obviously with Taki and stuff like that and all, you know. So the other option I suppose we have is what we could do is with Fulham being promoted back to the Premier League, we could always loan him back out to Fulham for a season and let him bed in his first season in the Premier League while getting experience and lots of game time and see how that goes. That could be another potential option. It's something we've done with Harvey and with a number of players as well, and it's worked really well for us. They've come back really, really strong and built and solid players and stuff like that. But the other thing that has come out as well is that Klopp has identified him as well in terms of his professionalism and his attitude at a very young age, at 19. He's been described as very, very serious about his business. And that's a key thing there as well. On those young shoulders to be like guided the right way, not lose the run of yourself. Don't get caught up in your own stardom and stuff like that. And especially when you come to Liverpool Football Club. Liverpool Football Club is a bigger star than the sum of its parts. And that's why, all the talk this season when we talk about Mo Salah's contract and stuff like that, it's not Mo Salah FC, it's Liverpool FC. And that contract just needs to be sorted one way or another. But either way, I mean, one day Bobby will go, one day Sadio will go, one day Luis Diaz will leave, one day Virgil van Dijk might leave. But Liverpool Football Club will continue and continue to find players at a certain level that they can nurture and bring in and bring through the system. And that's the reality of Liverpool Football Club. And this is how we have to do our business, because we're not financially in a position like Man City where we can go out and just buy players off the cuff and throw 100 million at Jack Grealish and 60 million at a right back or 60 million at a left back and just keep on churning. And if it doesn't work and it fails, we just throw more at it and stuff like that. We have to be a little bit more concise in the way we do our business. We have to look for those Andy Robinson gems out there in the wild that we bring in and we mold and we nurture into world-class players. So we have to blend that as well as buying in quality players at a certain level. But I just thought I'd jump on and drop a little episode on Fabio Carvalho. I think he's going to be absolutely sensational. I can't wait to see him at Liverpool. Between himself and Harvey Elliott, what a future these boys have at Liverpool. And the only thing that will ever hold them back is themselves. They will get all the support they need at Liverpool. They're going to be under one of the best managers in the world at the moment. Brand new training facility and stuff like that. The talk is that he had visited the training facility. He had met with Jurgen Klopp and he was obviously very happy with what he heard and stuff like that. Obviously blown away by the training facility. It's absolutely incredible. And we will wait for him to arrive. And I just can't wait to see this young lad in a Liverpool shirt playing football. Really, really excited about this signing. And I have to say, feeling really, really down today, obviously, about the league situation. It was great to get news in saying that we had signed this young lad. It kind of picked me up a little bit and said, you know what, dust yourself down there, Niall, and let's get on this road to Paris. Let us know your comments. Let us know what you think about this signing. I'm really excited about it. Of course, if you want to contact the show, Twitter @SessionShankly is the handle. If you want to contact the podcast, we're out there on YouTube, the upper tier. If you could subscribe and hit that bell notification button, help us to grow the channel throughout the summer. We're going to be dropping loads of content, transfer shows, specials, legend series. We're going to be looking at lots of stuff throughout the summer as we figure out what our schedule is going to be like for next season. We're going to be adding more shows and stuff like that with the lads, so it's going to be really exciting on the channel. If you want to contact us, the upper tier podcast @gmail.com. Of course, audio shows, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. And we're also out there on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, dropping clips all the time. And we will be back this week. We'll have a Monday mashup. We're going to have a preview for the Champions League. We're also going to be dropping a special episode of Beat the Bookie, where we drop our picks and tips and bets for the weekend, normally for the Premier League action. But the boys off the WhatsApp group, they're going to be dropping a bet builder bet each for the Champions League final, so should create interest and debate. Next week, instead of the Monday mashup, we're also going to have an award show, so we're going to give out our awards. We have a number of categories out there. I think there's about 10, and we're going to be going through them with all the lads, sure to generate some great debate. And we will talk to you again real soon, Reds. Cheers.